Hello, hello, and welcome back if you're familiar. Welcome if you're new. My name is Jen, and I'm with innerworkcoaching.life. And today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about 5 ways that you're going to be able to tell whether you are in alignment with your higher self or your soul or not. Number 1 is that inspiration feels effortless. Like you have an idea and you run with it, and then it's complete, and you're not quite sure what happened, but it's there now. And you're like, wow, if I can do this, what else can I do? Right? Number 2 is that you find peace and joy in your everyday activities. So if you're, no matter what you're doing, you have a sense of it serves a purpose and you don't mind doing whatever it is you're doing because you either know that it needs to be done and are peaceful about it because you know that it serves a bigger purpose, or you find ways to help make the everyday things more magical and fun for yourself. And this whole idea of magical kind of manifestations that we can pay attention to, that we can tap into. It involves coincidences and synchronicities and um, things that kind of make connections for you. This will play out differently for everyone because you're constantly making connections on a subconscious level anyway. But becoming consciously aware of these connections and coincidences and synchronicities will help you to be able to see how you're manifesting and how magical a being you actually are as you live your daily experience. Number 3 is that you can realign yourself at will. So you can feel your way into inner peace and joy and love from pretty much anywhere. And after a while of practicing this, you'll notice that you don't swing so far from one extreme to the other, right? So, whereas before a spiritual awakening or before you connect with your soul, you feel like you're kind of wildly fluctuating between one extreme and the other, high highs and low lows, very dualistic and black and white. When you are awakening and after you have practiced managing your emotions and doing the inner work to coincide with your awakening, then you will find that you don't go from one extreme to the other so much anymore. The extremes start to steady themselves out. Abraham Hicks refers to this as steadying your wobble. And once you get to this centered kind of path, you no longer feel like you're a victim to your own emotional state of being, if that makes sense. Number 4 is that you realize that only you can, quote unquote, save yourself. There is no knight in shining armor. There is no music producer manager that's going to randomly discover you without you putting yourself out there. There is no person who is going to come and sweep you off your feet and save you. It just isn't realistic. It's not how life really works. The idea is to understand that you are the only person who can actually save yourself. Now, the issue with waiting for something outside of you to come save you, it falls into this whole habit of thinking of, well, when I have this, I'll be happy. When this and this happens, I'll be happy. After this and this thing comes into my life, I'll be happy. Well, that's putting the cart before the horse because consciousness creates reality, right? Your emotions are part of your consciousness. So if you're trying to create happiness from a state of consciousness that isn't happy, then you're going to be trying for a long time and failing for a long time. However, if you are taking charge of your own state of consciousness, your own vibrational frequency, right? Which is your consciousness, then you can tap into that joy and that happiness and that love, and it will manifest itself in your experience in various different ways, effortlessly. The more resistance that you have, the more effort you will feel like you have to put in. And this efforting, this struggling, kind of creates more negative types of energy, right? So, how can we create happiness and joy from an emotional state that is not happy and joyful? If consciousness creates reality and we live in an echo reflection of our consciousness, of what we think and feel and say and do, then it only makes sense to take charge of our own consciousness in order to achieve the things out there that we would like to achieve. The other thing is that when you're waiting for someone else to come save you, and I used to think this way, I used to think I would find the perfect relationship and I would get married and I would be set. I would be good to go, right? Well, little did I know when I got married that it was the beginning of a nightmare. It was abuse. It was a daily struggle. It was a war zone because I was trying to run away from what I knew. And I was trying to hold someone else outside of myself responsible for my own happiness, for my state of being, right? Now, I don't know exactly where the line ends between what is my responsibility versus what is the other person's responsibility as far as abuse is concerned. However, I do know that when I feel like I need a savior, that puts me in victim mentality. When I'm in victim mentality, I tend to attract people who are seeking out victims. You see what I'm saying? So, the second you realize that the answers are within yourself and you are the one who has to take charge and empower yourself to live the life that you want to live, that's when everything changes. That's when everything begins to fall into place. So I encourage you to look at some of the ways in which you feel victimized, either by other people or by your circumstances or whatever it might be, and make the conscious decision to say, you know what? It doesn't matter where I'm starting from as long as I start. Number 5 is that you can feel the difference between running away from fear versus running toward love. So there's a subtle but very important difference in feeling. It's like making excuses versus solving problems, real legitimate problems versus being excuses for not doing something that you know you should do. Um, only you can discern this within yourself, and only you can take responsibility for the decisions that you make once you learn how to discern, or even before that, right? So rather than making decisions based on, I don't want that other thing, I don't want this over here, try shifting your focus toward what you do want. What do you want your everyday life to look like? What do you want your everyday experience to look like? What do you want to have in your life on an everyday basis? What would you like to experience every day? And work toward doing that for yourself. And you cannot allow your circumstances to dictate what you're doing. Just keep going anyway, you know? Keep working, keep doing what you're doing. If it's your calling, if it's your soul's work, if it's something that you feel um, pulled to do, then by all means, go for it. And as you do this work, as you work towards something of your own, as you start building your own content, for example, or whatever it is that you're building toward, you'll be faced with various different fears to work through, various different blockages, various different forms of programming and conditioning that you have integrated in yourself as truth until you start questioning it, right? So I really encourage you to start looking at, what decisions am I making based on fear, based on what I don't want, versus what decisions am I making based on love, based on what I do want. And there is a very distinct but subtle shift in focus when you choose to consciously do this. And I hope that you experience that for yourself, because once you do, it's like, oh, okay, I get it now, and you just start living life differently from what you did before. I want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. I know it's been a little while since I posted anything on YouTube. I think it's probably been about a week, maybe two. Um, And I wanted to let you guys know that it's not for naught. I just finished submitting and publishing the book versions and the journal of Defusing the Love Bomb. And if you're interested in checking those out, they contain a link where you can save $111 on the actual class as well. So whether you want to just kind of dip your toes in and get the book and see what happens, or if you want to get the book and then totally dive in, you can save $111 on Defusing the Love Bomb, either by watching my YouTube channel or following my Facebook and using the links, the promotional links that I post there. Also, I'm looking for a handful of people who would like to participate in this class without paying full price, but in exchange for a testimonial of some kind after having practiced for, a little bit of time. I would say 30 days is probably a good starting point, but I'm not looking for these testimonials like immediately, instantly, because I would like for you guys to take your time with this work and really give it a chance to start integrating, and for you to start noticing how it's changing you. And whenever whenever you have these revelations and these big insights and things like this, this is when it becomes really, really clear, or at least starts to, and this is how it happened for me. It started becoming really, really clear just how much I didn't know and still don't know, and just how much um, we don't yet understand about our emotions and the way our different systems kind of work together and integrate. So, this coming into alignment aspect helps you to gain a deeper understanding of yourself. And then by direct extension, you get a deeper understanding of everyone else around you. And so you start to interact with people very differently than before. I used to be a very angry person and loud and kind of, I don't know, irate, you know, very stressed out, very high strung. And after having done this work for, probably a solid 3 years now almost, I'm finally at a point where I feel stable within myself. I feel like I am not the instability in my own life, if that makes sense. So I'd like to share this, and if it resonates with you, then please give me an email or contact me if you'd like to participate in the class for a discount. I'm going to do this on a case-by-case basis because I don't want to send the same link out to everyone. So let's discuss. And if you can't afford, because I've noticed that there's a lot of people who are struggling financially right now, myself included. But if you can't justify to yourself or afford the class as a whole, then we can discuss a different price for you. So I'm willing to work with you guys on whatever works for you, simply because that's something that I wish more people would have done for me. And I already made the decision that I'm not going to stop sharing freely and sharing my work for free just because of finances. So that brings me to, if you would like to support my work, but you don't want to invest the entire amount into the class, I am just starting to get my Patreon set up, and I'm also accepting donations via PayPal. So if that's something that you would be open to contributing to, then by all means, click the link in the description. And if not, then that's okay too. I'm still going to keep posting videos, not to worry. And I'm still going to keep working on my album and everything else that I have in the works. So with support or without, it's going to happen. I hope that you guys are having a beautiful, beautiful week. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. I'm getting ready to record a whole other one and do some more slideshows. These are kind of calling to me right now. I really like the way these slides look. So I'm going to create some more slides right now and then do my next video. So I hope you'll join me. And again, if you would like to talk more about taking the class in exchange for a testimonial for a discounted price, you can email me at innerworkcoaching.life@gmail.com. All right, I look forward to hearing from you. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share if this resonates. And I hope you're having a beautiful, beautiful week. Thank you so much for being here. Namaste.
Do you see beauty? Do you see pain? Oh, whatever you feel is what comes back again. Oh,
Thank you so much for being here, my friends. Namaste. As you remember and reconnect with the light of unconditional love within your soul, don't forget to enjoy your life and have some fun along the way. Fall into the unknown.
fall with me into the unknown. Let's break free, learn how to let go.
Download this track and other fun bonuses when you defuse the love bomb at www.innerworkcoaching.life.